Hi everyone, my name is Linda, and the question I've chosen is question 3 for this and that, week 7. And the question that I've chosen is, where does machismo come from, and have we advanced to rationalizing, understanding, and overcoming its impact? How does machismo, and my answer to the second part of the question, manifest in Daisy Hernandez's chapter 5, Even If I Kiss a Woman? Going back to the reading from the Massacre of the Dreamers essay in the Ancient Roots of Machismo, a quote from Ana Castillo, the author of the essay, she states, "Therefore, while there are indications of Toltec women having power, at least as queens and warriors, in the 10th century, there are indeed matrilineal societies throughout the indigenous Americans, such as among the Zapotec people of Oaxaca region, the Great Tenochtitlan held women in not much higher regard in the traditions I believe we have inherited from the Arab world that will be discussed here." So I have done some extended research on this when Ana Castillo said that previous statement where machismo comes from. And I will also leave the link below on the discussion board. But from the Los Angeles Times, they state that some historians argue that machismo was born in these deserts, delivered to Spain in the Arab conquest, and transferred to Latin America by the Spanish. So by this, they believe that the Arabs who conquered the Spaniards then ended up having the machismo characterism / men and transferred it to the Latin America. And we see that there are similar characteristics on these issues, because there are a lot of women from, for example, Saudi Arabia, who are escaping from their family because they have no longer any freedom. And to answer the second part of the question is, we were advancing to overcome machismo here in the United States, but in Mexico it hasn't even advanced, nor has there been any solutions, because every day a lot of women are feared for their life to the point where they're fleeing violence, fleeing to America. But now here in the United States, it feels like we're going more backwards than forward. If you guys haven't seen Handmaid's Tale, I suggest watching it. But if not, I suggest also reading the book. It's an amazing book. It discusses how women's rights are being stripped away in just one day in the United States. And we see that today, women's rights are being stripped away. We see that many women don't have the authority to do what they want to do to their own bodies, including abortions, and we see how women are even scared, that they are even comparing Handmaid's Tale and are worried that this situation in the show might be brought to life. And how this manifests itself in Daisy Hernandez's Even If I Kiss a Woman, we see how her aunts and her mom talk about men, like not just Colombian men. Well, they were talking about Colombian men, but how they were discussing it, like chismeando and everything. It reminds me of how my siblings kind of talk about men as well. My parents are separated, and my dad is a machismo man. And although he started to decrease by time has passed, but I often tend to hear more negativity about men in my family when it comes to talking about relationships and stuff, just because the trauma many women have gone through. We see how conversations like this are being brought up, but not just in like Hispanic, Latino groups. It's basically being talked about in every single group where women is involved. Like, women are just saying, even saying that they're gonna stay single because they'd rather stay single and not be tied to a man who will torture them to life. But that's just the reality that many women are facing or don't want to face. But thank you for listening to my discussion.